Good day. It's Thursday. I think I'm a little late on these. I got, I got a little sidetracked, so I'm basically just gonna get these whipped up and sent out as fast as I can. Hopefully, they get to you guys in time if we're using them. Okay, get you started. Anyways, so tonight's game is Titans at Jaguars. Um, there's a lot of apparently a lot of money moving on to the over and unders. But I don't really play them, so a lot of the money is moving that over under number down, 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 down. Um, I guess there's not a lot of hope in Minshew throwing a lot of. I guess it's because of last week's game against Houston. They're probably counting on the same type of game. Um, I don't know. These guys have tendencies to go either way, right? So I mean, personally, I like both teams, so I'm really kind of caught between a rock and a hard place here. Uh, Minshew, I really like him. I liked him in Washington, and I think he's going to do okay this year until Foles gets back. If he gets back, I think he might even be gone for the year. But I have a lot of faith in Minshew. I think he's going to do okay. And of course, Mariota's in the contract here. I said he's got to play like he is. Well, apparently he is. So I don't follow the contracts. Um, but yeah, so like I said, this one's kind of a 1.5 point game in Tennessee is the favorite. Um, I don't honestly, I really don't know which way to go with this game. If I had to, I would take Jacksonville just for the fact of being at home. I would probably take it on. You'd have to look at the money line. The money line is probably worth more than the point spread. So I would take Jacksonville in the money line on this one. Um, but yeah, so like I said, I'll take Jacksonville at home on this one, just because I suppose. Okay, so we got Sunday. I don't know why I got Saturday written down here. Okay, so Sunday, Atlanta, Indianapolis. Looks like Ryan and company have kind of picked up their pace a bit. So, and I'm not really completely sold on Brissett. But the only thing that concerns me is Ryan's 5 interceptions in 2 games. Um, it's a little scary, but still, if Ryan um, and his crew there can really, if they can go like they did last week, I think they could take out Indianapolis because I don't think Indianapolis really has the offensive firepower. And I know Atlanta doesn't have much of a defense either, but I mean, you're pitting up two offenses against each other, and then defenses against each other. If you put them to points, I think Atlanta would come out on top. And since the game is a one point favorite for the Colts, I'll take Indy. I'll take sorry, I'll take Atlanta. I'll take the Falcons to win. Um, Baltimore KC. If we're going to have a shootout, I think rather have Mahomes on my side. Um, and I think that's what this is going to be. I believe that Kansas City is probably going to win by 2 touchdowns because at some point they'll stop Baltimore, and I don't know if Baltimore will actually stop KC at all. Um, and Mahomes he's still young, so he's still full of piss and vinegar. So he's going to want to show these guys up, especially at home. And KC is a hard place to play. It's no different than walking into Packers when the Packers are good. So I'll take KC in the minus 6.5. I think they'll cover. Next game, Cincinnati's at Buffalo. Buffalo's at a 6. And I don't know. It depends on whether you're going to get Dalton the last week or Dalton the week before. But you got Buffalo is they're doing okay. I think that Josh Allen's doing okay there. Their defense is stellar. They're still really good. Cincinnati doesn't have either, obviously. Um, normally I would have probably taken Cincy to stay within the 6, but I don't see that happening here. This is going to be Josh Allen's game at home. and he's going to go one of two ways. He's either going to be nervous, really nervous, or he's going to be, you know, he's going to be on fire because of the crowd, right? Because they're 2-0, and I'm sure the crowd's going to be very excited. So I'm going to take Buffalo anyways, minus the 6. I think they'll also cover at home. And if you look at today's game, on Sunday's games, except for the night game, all the games, all the home teams are basically the favorites. It's the first time I've ever seen that. Okay, so next one here, we got Denver at Green Bay. There's a geezer fest for you, or at least a has-been fest. I don't know how else you want to call it. The problem here so much isn't Flacco. I think it's going to be Denver's defense. I don't think Denver's defense is too bad. You got they still got one of the top defenses in the league. They're up there. They're up there close with Chicago, and if Chicago can hold down Aaron Rodgers to 10 points, I think the Denver Broncos can keep him to at least 14. And I could see the Broncos scoring at least one touchdown. So I see Denver on the road here covering the 7.5. That's what I have is 7.5. So these are Thursday. These are today's point spreads. Detroit at Philly. It's tough to say on Wentz. You know, so far he hasn't really impressed much. I think in Detroit, Stafford, he's doing okay. They got the whatchamacallit here. Sorry, just give me 1 second. I'll bring that up. The Stafford has got, his numbers are 635 touchdowns. And yeah, so they beat the Chargers not handily, but they held their own with the Chargers. And Philly hasn't really, they've haven't shown much. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know if I really want to take Detroit, but I think that I think Detroit can cover the 5.5. So I'm looking for this one to be a little bit closer than 5.5. So I'm going to take Detroit to cover that 5.5. Still think Philly's going to win, but I think Detroit will cover. And then yeah, we'll go on with that. And then we go into the two games that are so stupid. Miami at Dallas, 22 points, minus 22. Yeah, again, like what do? You run up the points first half, and then you sit Dak, and then you let then you slough off in the fourth and let Miami score 1 or 2, and then there goes the over under, there goes your fucking your point spread, there goes everything, right? So that's why I'm saying in the other videos, I do when I start seeing point spreads over 20 points, I really just. Sorry, I have to edit that a little bit. I turned that off by mistake. Yeah, like I was going to say, when I see that point spreads going to the 20s, I just pull away from those games because they're not worth taking. Yeah, they're just like I said. You don't know what the team's going to do when they're up to 20 points, right? You had games like last week where Brady just kept going and going and going, and most people are probably sitting back going, fuck, man, why don't you just, let it go? It's almost like he had something to prove, like, and you wonder why people get angry at teams like that every once in a while, because it's like, you got the game in hand. What's the point of embarrassing the other team, right? And then, of course, they're going to tell you, people take money to come and see a game, and we got to give them a game. And I don't know. You guys decide on whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I know what I think about that shit. Okay, so Miami, Dallas, minus 22. Go off on your own on that one. New York Jets, Now here's one. This is minus 23 for New England. And this one I don't understand. You give Miami 19, but you're giving the Jets 23. Just as a goof, I'm taking the Jets to cover that minus 23. I don't think they're anywhere near Miami. And I think they have at least a defense. And I'm not sure who's throwing. But let's find out. But yeah, I'm not too sold on what's it called? New England beating everybody by 23 points. Right? They had Miami and Pittsburgh. And you can see Pittsburgh wasn't looking, even with Roethlisberger in there, Pittsburgh wasn't looking too good. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the Jets' defense is going to be a hell of a lot better than Miami or Pittsburgh. And the Jets, yeah, well, they gotta put a push on too, right? They're already 0-2, so you got New England here. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I got Brady on the questionable, but it's so far the point spread hasn't changed. So, like, you know, if the point spread has changed, then obviously he's playing, right? So, sorry about that. Just haven't gotten my fix yet today. But yeah, I don't know why it does that either. The fact that they gave 23 to the Jets and only 19 to the Dolphins is like still basically a mystery to me. So like I said, I think the Jets will cover. Okay, so it's moved to a minus 22. Maybe because he's questionable. So anyways, I am actually gonna throw a ticket out there that'll have New York Jets. I think I'm just gonna throw $5 on it, or $10 on it online and go from there. Okay, Oakland at Minnesota. This is what I'm gonna call my upset of the day. One of my upsets. I got two. I think that Minnesota kind of showed themselves a bit last week. They are a bit vulnerable. The one of the reasons for the -9 is if you look at Derek Carr's or the Raiders, their passing yards. I got to look that up for you. So give me 1 second here. Well, anyways, yeah. So like I said, what they have here is they got passing yards allowed in their average the passing yards for the two games that they played. So their average 355. So I did a little digging into that, and I saw that they actually gave up 460 or so to Kansas City. So if you look back, that what they gave up to Denver was only actually 260, right? So, but I mean, if you don't give up 400 yards to Kansas City and Mahomes, something's wrong. I think everybody's going to give up that many passing yards. So, yeah, don't be surprised if this kid breaks 5,000. I'm not sure if he got 5,000 last year. I'm not. I don't dig too deep, but he's on pace definitely for 5,000 this year. I don't know what the record is, but it'd be interesting to see. But yeah, so like I said, a little bit deceiving in some of those averages that they're showing. And I think Derek Carr and the Raiders are a lot better ever since they got rid of Brown and that thorn up their ass. Basically, so I'm going to take Oakland as my. I'm going to take them as an outright win here on a money line because I think that they can beat Minnesota. I don't like Carr. I have no faith in Carr at all. The second one that I have here is the Giants at Tampa Bay. Listen, I've been saying it from the start. I've been saying it since the preseason. I said once they put Daniel Jones, they're going to start getting better, and I am sticking to that. And a lot of people will be surprised. on this Daniel Jones. um, he's going to throw up a lot more numbers than Manning, and he's young and he can move around faster too, right? I think Manning was finished anyways. I think Manning was finished a couple of years ago, but because he seems so one-dimensional, you know what I mean? When it came to throwing, the guy couldn't run very fast, you know. He's an old school quarterback, you know, and he wasn't as good as his. He's got 2 cups, but he's not as good as his brother because he wasn't as tall, you know. And then his brother was had a stronger arm and everything. So, and besides, I think what's his name? Winston. Brain's gone again. So now I have to look it up. And like I said, I got to get off of those damn pills. Or like anticonvulsants or something. And they're supposed to, like I said, give you a bit of memory loss. Like I said, I think I said on last week's video that I might forget who I am by the time this video is over. Jameis Winston. All right, sorry. And it's funny because I was with the Seminoles right from the start of their season when they won the championship too. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, I think Winston is shit. And like I said, some of these guys, they were great college quarterbacks. You know, I just asked Ryan Leaf. And like I said, you never know. I don't be surprised if somebody like Kyler Murray or that dude from Cleveland. He's got they could be another Ryan Lee for all you know, right? Just because they were great college quarterbacks, man, doesn't really mean that they're going to be good NFL quarterbacks. Like I said, that's been shown, that's been proven time and time again. I might do a video on showing that up too. But that's my second second upset of the week. So Tampa Bay was at -6.5, and Oakland was at -9. I forgot to mention that. I give Oakland my money line upset of the day. Okay, sorry. I know I'm sort of rambling on here. Okay, so the Carolina-Arizona game is off the books as far as I can see online. Newton is doubtful. That's all I know. The only thing that they're available on is on the ProLine Sports Select in Canada on the pools. So that game is actually still active there. And without Newton, you'd have to take Arizona, right? And Kyler Murray. So yeah, I'm not going to make a judgment call on that one because I have no idea who's doing what, and who's playing, who's not. So that covers that game. So another game is Houston at the Clippers. Chargers. Houston at the LA Chargers. Chargers are -3.5. And again, this is going to come down to the protection on Watson. All right, they got to stop letting him get sacked. On the good side of that, the Chargers didn't have any sacks the last game against Detroit, so that might be helpful. A bit of information. They did get. I think they registered 2.5 sacks on their first game though. Yeah, like I said, it's going to come down to the protection of Watson. If Watson stays healthy in that game, and they limit him to maybe just one sack, I could see Houston winning this one. Because, like I said, Deshaun Watson is a really good quarterback when he's healthy and when he's able to make plays. But I can see Houston winning this one. I think they got some making up to do here. And the Chargers, I think, is the perfect place to do it. So, okay, next one, New Orleans at Seattle. And I have a -4 for Seattle. That's curious. Because what I wrote down on this one, I said, no Breeze, no dice. And why it's only a -4, you would think that would have jumped to a 7 anyway if Breeze wasn't there. Hell, it probably would have dropped down to Well, with Breeze there, I would have made it probably a pick 'em. But with no Breeze, yeah, it's still curious. Maybe I don't know. Does Wilson play bad at home? I don't know. It could be. I'm that could be it. Used to be the Seattle used to be the basically Death Valley for any team a couple years ago. Um, so I don't know. I'm taking Seattle at home. But like I said, Teddy Bridgewater, he's no Drew Brees. I'll tell you that. Um, Pitt at San Francisco. Again, without Roethlisberger, they have no chance either. Um, and the way San Francisco, after watching San Francisco, yeah, I guess I have to kind of be a believer in Snuffleupagus. Um, I think that San Francisco is going to cover 6.5, -6.5. Um, we got the Rams at Cleveland. Cleveland again. Here we go. It's the Nebraska syndrome. They win a game, and all of a sudden they're top 25 team. Um, yeah, not convincing enough. Sorry, Goff is definitely convincing for me. I think Goff will spank the Browns. They are the Rams are a 3-point underdog or 3-point favorite. I think they'll eclipse that easy. And that is the night game, Monday night. Chicago at Washington. Chicago might be able to stop Washington, but Trubisky, man, Trubisky, whatever the hell his name is. So far, Trubisky and the Bears have put up 19 points combined in their two games. But with the Skins and Keenum, at least the two games they've played, they've challenged, right? I mean, if you look at the games that they played, okay, there we go. Well, let's look at them. The two games that they played, Dallas and Philly, tough opponents. Dallas, they lost by 10, 31-21. They could score against that. Dallas has a really good defense. And Philly, they lost by 5. And I remember that game. They probably should have won that one. I think they let Philly back into that game. But like I said, I think at home Monday night, I think they'll be able to. I don't how much are they going to break that defense? I don't know, but I put more faith into Keenum than I do into Trubisky. So I am going to take Washington at home with the 4 points. Because if it comes down to it, if Chicago wins that game, I can't see them winning by more than 3. And that is basically my NFL picks. I do have a corrections, but it's too many on this because this is already running 25 minutes. So good luck on that, guys. Hopefully got it in time for you to put it down on tonight's game. And like I said, good luck on this week. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, I realize I didn't have rough grid. I think we're going to get better once these teams start to settle in and we know who they are. I think the picks will get a lot better. All right, so if you went with me last week and I let you down, I'm sorry. But again, it's all about gambling responsibly. Let's keep that going. Please don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, it's free. I don't know why people don't hit that button. It's free. And the comments section, if you got something to say it. Good or bad, I'll take it. And share it with your friends. It'd be nice to have some viewers and some subscribers just to try to build up this thing. Thank you very much for watching. And